Welcome to my channel, The Flix Judge, where you will get detailed reviews and honest ratings of global movies and OTT series so that you can watch only the best content worthy of your time. Today we'll review The Village, a new Tamil language horror thriller released yesterday on Amazon Prime. 6 episodes, each around 30 to 35 minutes. This serial is available in Hindi, Telugu, and other languages in dubbed version. The series is directed by Milind Rao. It is mentioned that this series is based on a graphic novel of the same name. I have not read this novel. However, this series reminds me of many other Hollywood horror movies, especially the movie The Hills Have Eyes. If you are a horror movie fan, you would get the feeling of having seen many characters and scenes elsewhere in the past. With that background, let's now get on with the review of this series. Arya plays the role of Dr. Gautam, who, along with his wife Neha, a role played by Divya Pillai, and their daughter Maya, played by baby Arya, are on a road trip along with their pet dog. There is a big traffic jam on the highway and it is getting late. Guided by Google, they decide to get on a side road which would lead them to their destination quickly. However, as you would expect, they run into trouble. The front tires of the car get punctured and they have to stop midway near a village called Kattial. It is night time, the area is desolate, and there is no mobile phone signal. So Gautam decides to walk to the nearest village and get some help and asks his wife and daughter to stay safely inside the car till he gets back. When he reaches the nearby village and asks a few people for help, everyone is shocked when they hear the name of the village Katial near where he has left his car. They say it's a dangerous place haunted by demons and no one comes back alive from there, and hence nobody is willing to come and help him in the night. Disgusted by the superstition of the villagers, Arya heads back to where he left his car. However, in the darkness, he loses his way, slips and falls, and loses consciousness. Upon waking up, he finds that three men whom he had met in the village have come to help him. These are Saktivel, played by Adukalap Naren, Peter Pandian, played by George Marian, and Karunagam, played by Muthukumar. All of them set off to find the car and the doctor's family. But upon arriving there, they discover that the car is missing. Scared, they start searching nearby places like a factory and an old abandoned mine in Katiel village. Meanwhile, in Singapore, a wheelchair bound rich man hires a team of mercenaries for a mission. They are to accompany a group of scientists from his company to Katiel village on a secret mission to acquire some samples. Of what? We are not told. His right hand man Jagan, a role played by Talaivasal Vijay, is forced to accompany the team. This team gets on a helicopter with many weapons and, in Hollywood style, manages to travel from Singapore to Katial village coast, somehow bypassing the radar surveillance of Indian Navy and Air Force. Maybe they were all watching the World Cup, I don't know. The team starts to travel in the same night towards their location where the quote unquote samples are located. What happens to this team and what kind of dangers they face? What happened to Arya's family? Did he and the villagers manage to find the family? What dangerous otherworldly horrors did they have to face in this process? The rest of the series answers these questions. First, let's look at the story and screenplay. The story is not new, and as I mentioned, looks to be very similar to the movie Hills Have Eyes. The initial setup is quite typical, as any horror movie fan would know. Most horror movies have a similar story arc. However, the good ones have different and interesting characters, engaging screenplay, mysterious and thrilling backstory, and the key reason why all these happen will be very convincing. If some of these elements are there, the audience would be happy and the director would have been successful in creating a good movie. Another aspect is, of course, the sets and the special effects. The expectation of today's audience is very high in these departments as they are exposed to very high quality of making even in OTT series. However, this series completely fails in both these key aspects. The backstory of the village is so confusing and hodgepodge The director tries to weave in some unnecessary political message involving caste discrimination, polluting factories, pharma companies doing dangerous research, etc., into the story, resulting in a confused mess of a backstory. None of these gel with the characters that are key to the storyline. The second storyline of Singapore businessman doing some quote unquote research to treat his ailing son in this far off Indian village, and why did he open a polluting factory here, are all told in some shoddy manner with no logic or believability. In fact, he says since the research got out of hand, he abandoned the lab during the 2004 tsunami so that all the research will get flooded. This he is telling his son now, that is 20 years later, and asks him not to pursue the research as it is very dangerous. I mean, come on. If he did not want his son to pursue this, why is he even informing him about this in the first place? He could have just destroyed all the records of it. Worse is that the son is now sending a team to the village to find the lab and samples which his father has abandoned 20 years ago to be destroyed by tsunami. Why would he expect anything to be there? I mean, how silly can this get? Also, no one in India even knew the word tsunami before 2004. However, the series shows some computer issuing a tsunami warning to the lab people. How is this even possible? The whole thing is utter drivel. Similarly, the horror elements are driven by some mutants. The director is again confused if they should be vampires or flesh eating zombies. So he decides to have them to be a combination of both. Fine. But the sets, makeup, and special effects are so below par and overdone that they look ridiculous. You should see it and then you will understand. The screenplay is set to move between 2 to 3 timelines as well, and between Singapore and Katyal village also. But the editing is totally hodgepodge in many places. The screenplay is again shoddy. For example, Arya is looking for his missing wife and child, but we are shown that the villagers are narrating some sob story of some caste discrimination, etc., and Arya is listening with rapt attention. There are so many such goof ups. Again, you will understand when you see. Even the acting is very poor. There are scenes with so much mistimed reactions, even where experienced actors like Arya and Naren. I am surprised at the ineptitude of the director. And the character of Subhadra, played by Kalairani, the mother of the villager Shaktivel, is the worst in acting. Kalairani is known for the over the top acting and has a penchant for screaming and shouting, which constitutes the core of her acting skills. In this serial, it gets really unbearable. The lighting is mostly dark toned, probably to hide the shortcomings of the makeup and the sets. So, should anybody watch this? Well, only if you are someone who has never watched a horror genre series, or you don't really have any standards about logic or good making, you can try it. But if you are someone who has seen many horror movies, or you are a fan of that genre, please give this series a miss. This will only irritate you no end. Avoid this. As far as parental guidance goes, this has a lot of blood and gore and horrible image of mutants, so definitely not for children. Overall, I am unable to find even one good thing to say about this serial. This is a comprehensive failure, so there is no point in giving any rating. See you again with another review. Until then, bye and happy viewing. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I go through hours and hours of content so that you can watch only the very best ones in your precious free time. Thank you.